Welcome to TEL 702 Dynamic Context in Education. My name is Nicole Bowers, and I am part of the instructional team that will be working with you this semester in our course. Today, I'm going to orient you to the course and welcome you to our community. So let's get started. Here on our home screen, we can go just to start here and into the welcome portion. On this page, you can read a lot of detail about what this class is about, but a brief summary is that the content of this course is going to be about ethics, equity, social justice, and critical inquiry and educational issues dealing with those. We'll do some readings and we'll come to some understandings about what those issues are like in current context. And we will practice with those kinds of theories and approaches and looking at your context through the lenses that we learn about here. This course is designed to help you understand these contexts and these concepts. It is also designed through our own scholarly practitioner community called CPED to help you become better scholar practitioners. So through the course of learning about these different concepts and theories and approaches and playing with them in the assignments, you're also going to learn more about how to use theory, a little bit more about how to write research questions, and how to make sure that your research study is aligned and ready to go. The tabs up here are just your basic kind of navigation, resources that are college-wide. There's a section that's called groups. We will have groups in this session, but with the two co-instructors, myself and Dr. Miller, we will be working with all of you at different times. All right, so if we hit next, let's talk a little bit about proficiency-based grading. So this is a slightly different approach to grading that we will be using in this course. It's qualitative, not quantitative, or based on points. It's more about your continual and iterative development that's supported by our feedback and the course assignments and the content that you'll be reading. The evaluation will end with one letter grade that is more portfolio and developmental based than it is by points. You will be asked along the way to also evaluate yourself on these grading continuums, and we'll talk a lot more about this later, but there are basically three sections: completing assignments, collaborating and engaging with peers, and incorporating peer and instructor feedback to show an evolution and refinement of your skills and dispositions. All right. So the pacing of the modules, I'm also going to talk about kind of how this course is designed and broken up. We have 7 modules over 15 weeks. So you can see that each module is definitely not week per week. And this has to do with the amount of time within a certain grouping of concepts that you'll need for meeting with groups, for working on the different sections. So the blue sections are pertaining specifically to your context and problem of practice. The orange sections are about really delving into the content of the issues in ethics, equities, and social justice and critical inquiry. The green context, you're really going to be looking at the mentor text and playing with the different dispositions and skills of theory, application, innovation design, research questions, and we will support those through the mentor texts. There's basically 2 parts to our course. The first is in the first 4 weeks, and that is the content and the readings that you're going to learn about the issues and apply them and relate them to your own context and your problem. The second part of the course, we're going to be doing some case studies, and those 5, 6, and 7 are 3 weeks apiece, and you have plenty of time to explore and apply what we learn in the first part. This is to help you develop skills that you're going to be using in your dissertation and in your own research design. Again, we'll talk more about that in the specific modules as we get to them. We use learning patterns in this course: explore, unpack, collaborate, imagine, and act. Explore is basically you're just going to be exploring content, whether it's readings, podcasts, other things that your peers say, even reflecting back on feedback or things that you've written before. Unpack, collaborate, and imagine are kind of intertwined in a way that they are formative as we go. So when we're asking you to unpack something, we kind of want you to wrestle with the things you've explored and synthesize it often to your own context or the context of the mentor text that we're going to be working with. Here, you can brainstorm, tell us what you're thinking, go back and forth, and we'll give you a lot of feedback here. Unpack often goes into collaborate with the COPs that we'll talk about in a moment and your instructors. And the imagine is a little bit of a refinement after the unpack and collaboration, where you're still playing with the ideas and moving them to develop into further work. The last part, act, that you'll be asked to do is a little more formalized, and there's places, particularly in Module 4 and Module 7, that you'll see act as really important. This is where you're going to take all of the work that you've been doing and explore, unpack, collaborate, and imagine, bring it together into a formative and formal writing or exploration or presentation of the work that you're developing through the content and through your context as we go. Again, this will become clearer as we go through each module as they're applied. I know you've heard a lot about communities of practice as you've been in this program, and we are going to develop one this semester where you will be meeting synchronously with some of your peers. There's two reasons for this. First is to help you practice these peer relationships that you're going to be using next semester when you start your LSC dissertation work and you're working with a community of practice when the stakes are a little higher. Here, you're going to reach out to your community of practice, and you're going to form that in the first couple of weeks of this class. And you're going to support each other in the content, but also practicing this peer feedback and exchange. You'll be documenting your learning in two basic Google Docs. The first is the developer notebook, which will be for the first half of the semester. You will be prompted to make one of these and share it with both Dr. Miller and myself. And it will be ongoing through the first half of the semester. You will share work with us. We will share comments and feedback. And you can use this during your iterative reflection periods to go back to the feedback and incorporate it into your next block. The second half will use the case exploration document, which will have some templates for you in how to approach our casework. And it serves the same purpose. It keeps together all of your work in this area so that you can use what you've learned before to develop your skills and disposition in your work going forward. You'll be meeting your instructional team in a video coming up around Tuesday or Wednesday, but you can read more about us here to get to know us a little bit. There's a student community site that you can talk across with your peers, and you can subscribe to that. This isn't really something that the instructional team looks at. This is for you to communicate with your peers in this course if you so choose. We also have virtual office hours. Again, you can subscribe to that. And you can ask questions basically like raising your hand in the class, except it's asynchronous and the instructional team will come and answer those questions, which will be visible to the entire class. Of course, you can always email us, text us, or reach out to us personally if you want to ask questions on a more one-to-one basis. When you hit the next, that goes into module 1, and there'll be a whole nother preview video for that coming up. I'm so excited and honored to get to work with you. Please stay tuned for more preview videos and our introduction videos from Dr. Miller and I, as well as the module 1 preview. So enjoy. Thank you.